say in her voice, in her way, that she loved me. With her eyes, with her smile, with her belt, with her hands, with her mouth. I am the pieces of her prayers. Her nieces and her nephews are just pieces of the layers. Only one she loves as much as me is Jesus Christ and Taylor. I got a feature song singing for my grandma. You sing it too, but your grandma ain't my grandma. My
Great morning, everybody. Coach and Beyond with Coach Sagasta. No, this is no sugar in my coffee. We're not doing the morning show. What we are doing though is definitely, you've seen the title, it's promoting love. You know, and what I mean by that is strong relationships. For those people that have been following me, people that have been watching me, you've seen that this weekend we surrounded ourselves around greatness. And what I mean by that, we surrounded ourselves around great relationships. And it was really an undaunting time, a time of true harmony between me and my wife, just being around great people. And what I mean by that is, this weekend, we were able to spend some time with the I Do Marriage Conference, and being a part and affiliated with Dr. Eric Thomas and Associates has really proven to show great worthiness in our relationship. Like, you know, using certain tools, certain tactics, certain conditions or traits to bring back into our relationship has grown tremendously. I mean, 17 years. And, you know, for us to stand, I mean, literally for us to stand up, great morning, Willie, great morning. For us to stand up and be, aside from staff, literally aside from staff, be the second, we were the second longest marriage in the building among, I don't know, we said we estimated 1,000 people or more in that building at that given time. And it just showed, like, you know, for young couples that were just married, for couples that have been married 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, like 17 years, I could say that we have not come to master our relationship because it's still an everyday process. You know what I'm saying? But can we both agree? Like, we were on our way back from California yesterday. We're driving through the Mojave Desert, and it's something that we started looking at each other. We were messing around in the car, and I'm driving. I'm like, babe, really? I'm driving. But I mean, just the wittiness between each other, and that love and that harmony and that total affection that we have for each other is like the shirt that I'm breathing. It's as bad as you want to breathe. It's the biggest investment that you could possibly make. Because what I see so far from the outsider looking in is there's a lot of young, how did Josh say it? Entrepreneurs? My man Josh said it just like that. There's a bunch of entrepreneurs that are out there, or couples that are out there that are going through some struggles, that are going through some trials and tribulations, and they're having a hard time, and so they break up. As soon as it starts getting rough, they just break up. That's it. They done. They can't handle going through the waves. You know what I'm saying? And what I have learned, what we both have learned, is when you're able to adapt to it, to actually go beyond, go further than most people can see, then that's when you start seeing true harmony. You start seeing true love. You start seeing true affection. You start seeing all those things that you want to build the roots of everything to see this tree blossom. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that's something that wasn't for me. Like, I didn't grow up with that. That wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a father or a mother that had 17 years or 20 years or 5 years. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that. But my wife did. Now, you know what I'm saying? And then now that's what is truly remarkable, because, like, when I look back on our marriage, when I look back on after coming back from the conference, I was sitting there thinking, I'm driving, my wife's talking to me, I'm driving, and I'm thinking of all these little things like that. Like, wow, like all the trials and tribulations that we went through. You know, I mean, above all things, God has definitely pointed us in the right direction and helped us through our trials and tribulations. Like, I had to hit rock bottom in order for me to come crawling back and understand that, you know, babe, I'm absolutely sorry. In open arms, Are you getting what I'm saying? On open arms, my wife was able to take me back and forgive me. You know what I'm saying? And why I say that is because it's very important that so many people, so many couples out there, they break up after 2 to 5 years because they're not willing to forgive one another. You know what I'm saying? And I just wrote a blog this morning. I just wrote my blog, and excuse me, but anybody that's looking to grow just an inch more, go to my blog. It's 365 Kaizen. That's 365 KAIZEN.blogspot.com, and see for yourself what I put down, because you know, I think a lot of times there's so many people that are going through so many hardship in their relationship that they go separate ways instead of mending those problems, instead of fixing those problems, instead of finding the right condition on that conflict, you know. And I ultimately believe, you know, if you really want your relationship to be for a longevity of time, like 17 years, 20 years, 25 years. I mean, Ian and Didi, what was it, 27 years, babe? 27 years. You know, that's a milestone. I mean, after 30 years, that's a milestone. After 40 years, that's a milestone. You know what I'm saying? These are standards. These are milestones that you reach, you want to attain. They're like climbing the Mount Everest, you know, in a relationship. And so many people are not up to that challenge. You're not, you know, you don't want it as bad as you want to breathe, as E always says, you know, and it's so true. And I've learned a lot of great things from Dr. Eric Thomas about our relationship. And, you know, this was the second biggest marriage conference me and my wife have ever been to. In 17 years, this was the biggest marriage conference me and my wife have ever been to, you know, in 17 years. So, I mean, if there's anything that I can encourage you guys with, it's about being committed. If there's anything that I can absolutely encourage you about, it's about proper communication. If there's anything that I could possibly, you know, recommend to you in your relationship with your spouse or with this new young relationship that you're growing, it's support one another. You know, so many times that we, as men, we don't feel that we're supportive enough, you know, and so I encourage you, be more supportive, you know, listen more. I mean, that's one thing me and my wife were talking about on the way home, was just that proper communication. Not, you know, of course, among things, you know, that compassion I told you about yesterday, but just having that listening skill, you know, and, you know, there is no perfect marriage. Understand this. There's absolutely no perfect marriage. You know what I'm saying? But I understand this. Among all things, you know, as I said earlier, you want a great investment, then you got to invest time. You have to invest time and information. I always express with everybody that ever follows me, anybody that ever calls me for advice, anybody that ever uses my services, it's about one thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's the commodity of value. You know what I'm saying? That's very important. And I believe love, faith, time, you know what I'm saying, and information is a commodity of value. So I appreciate you guys for being on. Have a great day. You know, Love's First Kiss. You've seen the title, Love's First Kiss. So make it enjoyable. Make it a masterpiece. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And anybody, if you know anybody that's in the Houston area that can absolutely just have some value or build off of the structural blocks of what Dr. Eric Thomas is bringing, because right now he's going to be in Texas. So, I mean, I'm encouraging anybody, if you know of anybody that is looking to build the relationship, send them that way. Send them that way. I promise you, when they leave there, they will start building on the steps to success in a relationship. I appreciate you guys. Have a great and beautiful day. I'm out of here.